have on our show otherwise. So I definitely want to introduce one guy who's been here that doesn't need an introduction is Rocky. Welcome, Rocky.
Hey folks, how are you? Thanks for having me back.
Yes, yes, yes. It's good to have you back. You know, we got a lot of compliments about you. Like, I've actually run into people and they're like, that Rocky guy, man, he's good. He's good. And I was like,
Man,
yeah, if
I
only
would
he
love
had better
to.
equipment.
I would love if you could send me a recording of all of that so I could just play it to myself before bed every night just to feel good.
Yeah, like they were like, man, I really like that guy Rocky. He knows his stuff, man. And I was like, what do you mean? We don't know our stuff? Like,
We all collectively share the one brain cell, so I think we're good to go.
good, good. All right. And then next, I want to introduce you to a new person who we had never had on before is Anissa. Anissa, welcome to our show.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy I discovered your podcast on my Instagram feed.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I kind of just ran into your account because I had met a possibly a friend of yours or something at a Eid gala, and I started following her, and then I saw her tweet about you, and I was like, oh, cool, somebody's doing some stuff in film and media, and they live in New Jersey. Let me follow this person. And then I guess you found our podcast from there, and yeah, and I was like, yeah, you want to come on? Sure. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a filmmaker and a media critic. I'm in pre production right now for my next short film. It is called What is the Criteria, also known as Criteria Kya Hai. So it's very
Ah.
much sounds like what you think it sounds. It's about a girl who comes home to the chaos of her sister's wedding and discovers a magical pair of glasses that allow her to see every man's true colors. So I'm
Wow.
in pre-production for that, and I'm also a podcaster too. And I have a podcast called Desi Talkies, where me and my co-host review strictly South Asian media for the diaspora audience because I feel like we don't have that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love this concept of like the glasses. She's kind of like a Daisy RoboCop and just like picking out fuckboys instead of like bad guys.
Yeah, so it's really funny you say that because I'm casting like a bunch of different roles and I have like as an ensemble cast like F boys. So it literally says casting F boys. That is the
Ah!
most that is the most casting submissions I've gotten for any role is for F boys. So I'm
That's
really happy
so
about that.
funny. That's so the odds that those would be rolling in.
Yeah, we love self-awareness, so let's
Yeah,
go.
everybody loves a little self-awareness. That's so cool. And you're doing it right here in Jersey?
Yes. So I actually went to college and got there for 4 years, so I finally, like, shifted back home. So this is my first time doing a big project in the States.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a community project. All the aunties wanna get involved, and I'm taking their donations very happily. So, yeah.
Yeah, we just got a comment that said Rocky should apply for the F boy. I'm assuming.
I'm happy to do it. Hey, if there's a job in it, I'll do anything.
Rocky
We'd
has
love to
F boy
have you.
hair. He has F boy hair. I could see him doing that.
Uh,
All
Happy to
right.
be killed or disposed of in any way you see fit for your protagonist.
Ruby says everybody wants to be like, I'm not a F boy, but I play one on TV. That would be funny. That would be so funny. That's so cool though that you're doing it here in Jersey, man, and it's local. I would love to see it. And if you guys are ever like filming somewhere, I would love to get some like behind the scenes footage. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, I'd love that. So, like, half of it is set in, like, a family home, and the other half is in, like, a shadi hall, like a wedding hall. So it's basically
Oh,
gonna be, like, a
nice.
huge, like, fake wedding. So I'm inviting everyone. I'm like, "Bring your friends, just come in your adorable clothes, eat food, just see a film set." So that's kind of it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited.
Oh snap! So can we invite all our fans and just say, "Hey, come to the come to this wedding"? Because that's the
I'm so
closest.
open.
That's the closest
Yeah.
my parents will ever get to me being married. My
It's the
parents are
only
like, "What a
wedding we'll get
shadi?"
invited to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
getting people to come because I'm telling them it's my wedding. So,
Nice.
yeah.
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, technically, it is your wedding. You're throwing it. That's so cool. What does this says? Neves has an extensive acting experience. You could hire him. I don't have any acting experience. I don't know what. I have been in a few movies. I've been in The Dark Knight Rises, and I was in Royal Pains.
No
That's my.
way.
Yeah, yeah. A
Wow.
little bit of
Okay.
acting I did. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Were,
Royal
were
Pains.
Really?
were you on the Pittsburgh
Yeah.
set for The Dark Knight Rises, or
No,
which
I was
which
on the
section
Wall
are you
Street.
in?
I was on the Wall Street set when they do the
Got it.
Bane
Okay.
and
Okay.
Batman
Gotcha.
fight. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Yeah, and then I think Royal Pains is shot right here in Long Island. Even though they say the Hamptons, they're not technically in Long Island.
No,
Yeah.
that's super
Got it.
cool.
Got it.
I love how you said like Dark Knight, like Batman and royal paints, and I was like, oh my god, I love royal paints. Like
I
that
know.
was what I picked up from
Usually
that.
I get like more excitement for the other one.
No, I
That's
love that
so
So,
show.
funny.
your previous work history includes Christopher Nolan.
Yes, that is true. I have worked with Christopher Nolan, Academy nominated Christopher Nolan. That's pretty dope. And Gary Oldman and Michael Modine, Christian Bale, and Tom Hardy. Technically, they were all in the same scene with me.
That's a better resume than I've ever heard.
I know, right? I'm technically, it's not a lie. Technically, it's true. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about what's going on this week, man. There's a lot of things you want to talk about, and Rocky, I know you got to see Indiana Jones, but without
Yes, sir.
spoiling anything, what were your thoughts of Indiana Jones?
So, very quickly, I would like to retract something I did make, a comment I made the last time I was here. I did say Disney was fairly confident about the new film, and
Yeah.
they premiered it at Cannes, and looks like we were all dead wrong. It's
Wow.
not sort of mixed reviews and not doing it's sort of falling flat in the box office. I mean that you could attribute that to a couple different things. Sort of it's not really picking up with younger audiences. It's not the film is okay, is what I would say. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not great. It's not terrible. It's efficiently made. It's economical. It's I think I was sort of missing the flair that James Mangold brought, and I'm a huge James Mangold fan. I mean, everyone loves Logan. I thought 310 to Yuma was a
Oh yeah.
genuine masterpiece. Ford versus Ferrari is probably one of the best dad films to come out in the last decade or so, but it was sort of missing really that visual flair. And in an action adventure series where you have a magician like Spielberg, who's known for sort of camera placements and how to sort of judge precisely when to make a good cuts between mid close-ups and going in, and you have a lot of influences from John Ford and Kurosawa and sort of all the greats coming in for what we would love cinema to be. It was okay. And I think in a franchise that's done incredible work, okay leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's a fun time, is what I would say. It's a good way to spend 2 hours, but it's not Raiders, it's not Temple of Doom, and it's not Last Crusade. It's either on par or better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, depending on how you like that film.
Ooh, wow, that's not a lot of high praise, to be honest with you.
But to be fair, also I like Crystal Skull more than most people. I think that movie deserves a rewatch. I think there's elements that don't work, but I think there's a lot of good action in it. I mean, look, Spielberg is just an incredible master behind the camera. I mean, you could really study Raiders in terms of how, he employs crane shots and dolly movements and that sort of stuff. And that sort of visual flair is quite missing with this one. It's a lot of, close-ups. It's a lot of, wide shots. Anytime there's, the camera pushes against Harrison Ford, it's a green screen shot. I mean, look, the man's 80. No one's expecting him to
right.
do. I think the biggest issues really is how passive Indy is as a character in this one.
Mm-hmm.
He's sort of along for the ride rather than being a more active character. And that's all I'm going to say. But look, it's
sounds like a little bit of a payday for him.
It's just not Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, fair. There is a little bit of controversy that I wanted to talk about, and I want to get Anissa's thought on this too. There is an actor, John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies, yeah.
John Rhys Davies, and he plays Salah Mohammed Faisal Al Kahir, which is a Muslim character in brownface. And they did it back in the day, but why bring up a character back that has to be in brownface? That's a little weird. That's the character you decide to bring back. You can't bring back Kwon, who just did Everything Everywhere All at Once, is the biggest star. You couldn't bring back Short Round. You had to bring back this random racist character. I thought that was a little sketch. Nisa, do you have any thoughts on that?
That happened? I had no idea that happened. That's so
Yeah.
funny because I just did a piece on brown face and it was like a really extensive like piece
Oh well,
of
there's
like
one more for your.
yeah.
record.
No, because like the last time I remember seeing like brownface so extensively, it was this 1968 film. It's called The Party with Peter Sellers. And if you're brown, your parents love Peter Sellers. And I grew up watching it and loving it. And he's just like an Indian guy with like a fobby accent, but he's like a pasty white man in real life. So I was just like watching it for the first time after years of growing up watching it. And I was like, this is so wrong. I just don't understand why they keep doing it. And I think that there's a controversy with like Dune as well, which could be debated, and people don't talk about it as much because we love Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya so much.
Yeah.
But I just don't think
And
it's
Oscar
needed.
Isaac.
Yeah, I just don't think it's needed. I think that we're in a phase in terms of our industry where like South Asian representation, like Arab representation is like cool. Like people love seeing it. They're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
different. I'm learning so much. So why would you put a white man in brown face? And also your target audience, like a huge chunk of Indiana Jones audiences are like brown parents.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
love
exactly.
Harrison Ford. I've never heard my mom in like the past 5 years be like, I want to go to the movie theater except for this film.
That's so funny.
I don't really understand what the reason is. Like, it's not like they don't have resources. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I just
so
don't
if
get
I
it.
can jump in quickly, I'll slightly defend this decision because, well, so he's been in Raiders and he's been in Crusade, and he's like integral to the Indiana Jones mythos. The fan base would not be happy if you recast that character.
Really?
He is sort of a delight. I mean, look, it's a product of its time, right?
But he's also an Islamophobe. Like he does not like Muslims, and for him to portray a Muslim, yeah, he said that Muslims are belligerent, oppressive, and what else did he say? Something about
is that a direct
and
quote?
insidious? Yes, insidious, belligerent, and offensive is what he called Muslims. He is a legit
Well, that's wild,
Islamophobe
man.
playing a Muslim character in brownface. Like, come on, bro.
Also, I'm not laughing because I genuinely find it funny. I'm laughing because Hollywood always manages to like outdo themselves. Like, why are they trying to get in trouble with this?
Yeah,
I don't really understand.
If you type in his name and Muslim, it's the first thing on Google. It'll show up.
I feel like we've done that with every one of our favorite actors. We've like typed their name in Muslim, be like, please don't hate us. Please don't hate us. So,
I know. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, so we talked a little bit about brown face. You know, I feel like everybody has one brown face that they'll let slide. So I have one brown face that I let slide, and that's like Ben Javari from Short Circuit. Like, I love that guy. I know he's brown face. I know he's a white man in brown face, but that movie is so special to my childhood that like I gotta let it slide. Come on, Johnny Five. Come on, yar. It's so good.
I mean, I'm glad we've sort of moved away from John Wayne playing Genghis Khan in The Conqueror.
Yeah.
There was Keanu Reeves did brown face too. I'm trying to figure out where he did it.
Really? What did he do?
Yeah. He was Siddhartha Gautama.
But did he actually put
He
brown
played
face on
he
him?
played the Buddha. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Come on, Keanu.
People don't even know about that.
Keanu's a nice guy. He didn't know better.
To be
It was-
fair,
it was
who
a
else are you gonna get that really gets that persona right than Keanu?
Keanu is half Arab and half Asian though, so he gets a little
Yeah.
bit of a pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
So that's the Indiana Jones thing. So I don't know. Go watch it. Don't watch it. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna review it after finding that out. But I do love the Indiana Jones character. But I feel like, you know, retire him and Short Round takes over would be a great option. Like that would be fun. Give it a new, like, little fresh perspective, I think.
I feel like that's what they were going to do when they had the Indiana Jones with Shia LaBeouf. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of what the cliffhanger was like, and then all that stuff with Shia LaBeouf happened. But I know that everyone was like super excited for that, and they did a really good job of doing a cliffhanger for that one.
Yeah, Shyla also kind of imploded. Are we good on Shyla, or is Shyla still bad? I can't remember. I can't keep track.
No, he's gotten several incidents of abuse. He was recently fired from the Olivia Wilde film.
Oh,
That
that's
she
right.
directed
There was a
last
lot of
year.
controversy. But I feel like that everybody was a little shady for that. Like everybody involved was shady, not just him. I feel like there was a lot
So
of
there
blame
was
to go
that,
around on
yeah.
that one. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's Indiana Jones. Have you guys watched this show called The Idol with the Weeknd?
I have so many thoughts on this.
Oh,
That's
'cause
the one with Lily Rose Depp.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
such
I
a
have
wild
not
show.
watched it actually. No.
They literally canceled the show. It was a 6-episode run. They canceled it up to 5 episodes. They didn't even let them finish the finale. How
They were
wild is that?
getting like it was so bad. Also, the fact that they shot like 80% of it before with a female director and then they scrapped it and redid it. Like, also, I can't listen to any music by The Weeknd anymore. The Weeknd has been
Yes.
ruined for me.
I said the same thing because like he does such a good job at acting like a creep that I'm like, yo, he might just be a creep. Like
It's
I
method
don't,
acting.
because like his songs are very like creepy. Like they're if you listen to the lyrics, there's a lot
No,
of
I've
shady
been
stuff in there.
saying this for years. Like, when I've listened to his music, I've been like, his music is kind of degrading to like women, and he's kind of like really like forceful in his lyrics. It gives me a really like icky vibe.
Yeah. But he's got a great beat and he's got a great voice and people let it slide. But I think after this, I can't let it slide. It's kind of uncomfortable. And people are debating and saying, you know what? There's a lot of coincidence between the main character and Selena Gomez,
Oh,
and they
I saw
think
this.
they think this is what happened to Selena Gomez, and like I wouldn't be surprised. That's
I think
wild.
everything is dramatized. I think I have had the idol on my TikTok for like the past 2 weeks. So I'm like so knowledgeable in conspiracy theories. But I just think overall it was just a really bad show and really bad writing. But I think that it would be really cool if they released those episodes that they filmed beforehand, because apparently it was actually good beforehand. And I feel like people would be curious to see like whose creative vision was like clouded in that sense.
Yeah, Sam Levinson's known for being
Would you
creepy, even in
recommend watching
Euphoria.
it?
No,
I don't.
I think if you want to feel uncomfortable for hours after just thinking about it, then yeah, watch it. But I don't
Okay,
know if
got
that's
it.
what you want.
I watched it because I thought it was going to be like Euphoria and it was going to be like the next big hit, and I just wanted to be on the ground floor and be like, okay, because I missed the Euphoria wave, and I was like, all right, let me try to get in on this one, and I was like, nope, not really worth it. I think I got 2 episodes in, and I'm just like, I just can't.
I honestly think with all the rumors and everything going around and the criticism, there might be issues with season 3 of Euphoria now, because I already know that there's one cast member that is like not returning because of her issues with Sam Levinson and how he wrote her. So this is like he's just, this man is waiting to be canceled. That's just my
Yeah,
thought.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, no, for sure. Speaking of shows that I got on too late, though, I started watching Succession, and that is such a great show. I saw the season 2 finale, and I'm just like, oh shit, now I get it. Now I get why everyone was talking about this every freaking Sunday. It makes total sense. I wish I did. I wish I caught that train earlier. Have you guys seen it?
Succession is incredible. It's probably, I would say, one of the most well-produced shows of the last few years. I would say that and Severance, I would put it on par with each other in terms of really, really well-made shows. In terms of incredible writing, just impeccable cinematography, production values, just very well made. Like fitting with the HBO brand. Now that it's sinking, mind you.
My toxic trait is like, I think if I become rich, I would end up being just like those guys. I feel like if I wanted to, I can be like a savage, cutthroat business person or CEO. But then I'd be like, I'd lose a part of myself. I
What
definitely
character
would.
do you most relate to on the show? I'm curious.
I, I, I would want like, God. All right, I would say I do relate to Kendall, but like in my head. But in reality, I'm probably more a Gregory.
That's so funny.
Oh man. What about you, Anissa? Have you seen it?
Okay, so I watched it recently too. So I was actually working in LA for 3 months for this production company called Blumhouse. I was interning with them. And every time I would go in the break room, they were just talking about the new Succession episode. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't watched it yet. So I actually binged it all so I can like watch it timely for the last 3 episodes of the most recent season. And I loved it so much. It did take me a while to I tried starting it for the past 2 years, like twice, and I couldn't get into it. And there's that episode where like Kendall's walking on the streets and like on the phone while they're all in the conference room trying to like dethrone Logan. And I was like,
Yeah.
that was the episode where I was like, if you can do cross cutting like that, this is my show. I
As
love
someone who's been
cross-cutting.
stuck in the tunnels, I can tell you, I felt that. I felt that for real. Oh man, no, that's a really good. Bloomhouse, is that the company owned by Hera that she runs?
No,
No,
it's Jason Blum's company, right?
yeah, so they did
Okay.
like Get Out and they did all the Paranormal Activities and Insidious. So that was like really cool.
Ah, very
I saw a
cool.
lot of private screenings of films and I'm able to tell the trends for the next 5 years pretty easily.
Damn, we need to get
That's
on your level,
incredible.
man. How do you hook us up with that, man? We need to get on your level.
Become an intern and get coffee for people and just sit in the in the break room and you'll hear everything.
No, I'm too old to be an intern. I'd be like the intern from that Robert De Niro movie. Like, I am too old to do that stuff, man. I'm not getting nobody no coffee. No, but
to Anissa's point, Blumhouse is like the sort of the premier horror producers now. They've done like incredible work over the last few years. Some really really good stuff. They're what you call the studio that produces elevated horror. It's a phrase that some people like, some people hate, but for what it's worth, it's Jason Blum. I think heads the studio. It's an incredible.
What does that mean? Elevated horror.
That's awesome.
What does elevated horror mean?
So elevated horror was essentially seen as horror with sort of socio-political subtext. So something like a Get Out, for example, or Nope, where it's, or a Babadook, where it's there's.
I would say Polite
horror,
Society could be
exactly.
elevated horror.
Which one? Sorry.
Polite Society. I would consider that elevated
horror in the sense of like, I guess, a little more sci-fi or supernatural.
Gotcha.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I honestly learned so much from my 3 months there because, like, I think horror might be the most difficult genre because it's so stereotypically done all the time. And it's so hard to find something that's like nuanced in terms of a horror plot. And I was reading probably like 7 scripts a week that were like 90 to 100 pages from like people that would like submit it and getting nightmares all the time. So I feel like I really became stronger. People are writing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, horror for me, like, first of all, I can't even pronounce horror. I say horror. Like,
Wait, that happened to me too. And I was at a networking event, and they're like, "Oh, where do you work?" And I was like, "Oh, I work at a horror film production house." And they're like, "A horror house?" I was like, "No, I don't work at a horror house."
There was a restaurant, and it was called Lahore House. And I was like, "Hey, you guys want to go to the whorehouse?" And they were like, "What? You want to go to a French whorehouse?"
Seems like he'd be perfect for your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm writing a role for him in my head right now. So.
Oh man, that's so funny. But yeah, I can't watch a horror movie without watching an episode of a comedy show afterwards because I gotta have I have to watch like Scrubs or like Brooklyn Nine-Nine right after I watch a horror movie, or else like. I'm like a little baby. I get nightmares.
No, I get that. I used to watch horror movies with like one headphone in, and I'd have like the Jonas Brothers. Like, because the thing is, the visuals don't scare me. It's the music. The background score, that's what gets me. So I would like be listening to like Burning Up, like in Jonas Brothers, when there's like a Bloody Mary going on.
I feel like that would ruin the song. Like, I'd never listen to Love Bug again because of like there's somebody being killed to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh man, that's funny. Rocky, are you going to Comic-Con?
I am not going to Comic-Con. I've actually never been to a Comic-Con, weirdly enough.
Oh really?
I watch it from the sidelines. I follow it on Twitter and see what the folks are up to. I have to say though, I've never once experienced that level of passion with all those sort of folk. It would be fun to go. Have you ever been? Have either of you ever been?
Yeah, I have been, and I'm going again this year, but it's the worst year to go because everything is canceled. Nobody's coming this year.
Are you going to the one in San Diego?
Yeah, the one in San Diego.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. I know Marvel's not coming. I know DC's still deciding. So
wait, why is it all canceled?
Because of the writer strike and the actor strike that's looming, that a lot of them just pulled out. And then the other thing is a lot of these studios have their own Comic-Con. Like Disney has D23, Netflix has the one in Brazil. So,
it's like streaming now.
Yeah, like everyone has their own Comic-Con, right? So, but there's going to be a big Jurassic Park presence there and a big Doctor Who presence there. So it's not all bad, but if DC comes through, we'll see. But James Gunn said he's not going to be there. So if there's going to be no James Gunn, there's probably going to be nothing great from DC coming out.
They did announce a new Superman though, and Lois. So
they did. That's the other thing I want to talk about. So Superman and Lois, they casted David Corenswet. Is that how you say his name?
Yep.
And then Rachel Brosnahan.
Yeah.
She's great. She's incredible. She's perfect for Lois Lane.
Really, she looks the part, and so does whatchamacallit, David. Like he looks like Superman, but then again, like they all look like Superman except for like maybe Dean Cain. Like I feel like they all have.
We don't count Dean Cain.
Dean Cain, we don't count him. Yeah. But we've never had a bad live action Superman if you don't count Dean Cain because they're all really good. Christopher Reeves, Brandon Routh. even Tyler, who is in the new Superman on Lois, like
I love Tyler
fantastic.
Hoechlin. I think he's a fantastic Superman.
He's so good.
So Rachel Brosnahan, she's the lead role in Marvelous Miss Maisel. If you haven't checked
Yeah.
that out, she's incredible in it. I think honestly, I would say it's a very like an inspired bit of casting. I would say it's more inspired than the Superman casting, only because I think David's name has been circulated quite a bit over the years. But what I will
Yeah.
say is he is the first Jewish person to play Superman, which
Yes.
is fantastic.
Yes.
Because Superman was created by two Jewish Americans, and
Yeah.
the entire story of Superman is about the Jewish American experience. So it's that's
Absolutely.
gonna be lovely. Also, he's 6'4", which is what Superman should be. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Very true. No, I totally agree. There's a lot of people I know who are super, super happy about him being Jewish, and he's American, which is also great because they've been British for a while too. All the superheroes have been British or Australian for a while, so good to see good old USA back in the mix.
That's right.
Yeah. What are your thoughts
Red, white,
about?
and blue.
Yeah, what do you think? Truth, justice, and the American way.
That's right. They have changed it to "On a Better Tomorrow" in the comics.
And a better
but
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anissa, are you into Superman?
No.
Okay.
That's my very simple answer, but I do love Rachel Brosnahan. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is my favorite show of all time, and as a film and TV like critic and buff, like that's saying a lot. And I think that they were very strategic in casting her for Lois Lane because Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is set in like the 60s and 70s, and I feel like they played around with that time period a lot in terms of like the Superman universe. So they're doing like a really good job of casting her, and I think there's no way she's gonna do a bad job.
All right, cool. I'm really, really excited. I have not seen Marvelous Miss Maisel, but I have had a lot of people confuse it for Miss Marvel. they apparently can't make the difference between the two, and I'm like the big difference.
Very
between the two.
different.
Yeah. Oh man, that's really, really funny. Yeah, no, that's cool. The Superman news is really, really cool. Venom has started production, which is exciting. I don't know what's happening with Sony and all these movies. So like they have Venom, then they got Craven, then they got what do you call it? The other one, Morbius. I don't know what's going on, but the only thing that's going to make this worthwhile is that if there is a Andrew Garfield Spider-Man at the end of this, because there's obviously not a Tobey Maguire universe. It's obviously not a Tom Holland universe, but we don't know what's going on with that. What are your thoughts about that, Rocky?
So I'm sort of excited because Kelly Marcel is directing it, and she's done a lot of British TV, which I've liked. So I'm a little excited about it. I am not the biggest fan of the first Venom, though I know it has a cult following. The second one I enjoyed a bit more. That was the one that Andy Serkis directed. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of cold on that franchise. I never saw Morbius, and the Craven trailer. I guess Russell Crowe scenery chewing would look good. So I guess we'll see how that pans out. But I'm sort of a soft.
Yeah, I'm more like I'll watch it, but like I don't know. I don't expect much from it. But I do like the Tom Hardy Venom back and forth. But outside of that, I don't care much for the plot.
Also, just Across the Spider-Verse, I think really just took the thunder a lot of these Spider-Man films because it was just so good.
I know people are like, we could have this, we could have something as good as this, and you're giving us Morbius. Oh man, it's crazy. What about you, Anissa? Are you a Venom fan?
I saw the first one and I hated it. I remember like going to theaters, watching it, and just coming out so like angry, like that I just spent so much time watching it, especially because I'm such a huge Tom Hardy fan. Like I love this actor. He does such great stuff. And also like they really did Riz Ahmed dirty in that first one. Like they really gave him, he did well for what they gave him, but they really did him dirty with like that role and the dialogue. It was just terribly written. So no, I've not seen the second one because I'm still upset about the first one.
It's pretty silly, and it's not my favorite. But speaking of Riz Ahmed, he has a new animated series out. It's called Nimona. I can't pronounce it, but it's an animated series, and it's about a knight in a futuristic medieval world, and he's framed for a crime, and this girl has to like help him and stuff like that. I think Chloe Grace Moretz is the girl who plays the main voice actress, and then he's in it. So it was really cool. I like seeing that there's like animation, and he's brown. He's like, it looks a little bit like Rhys Ahmed. It's on Netflix now. You can watch it now for free. It's there. So I would recommend you guys go and watch it. It looks really, really cool. It's definitely on my list to watch. And it's our boy Rhys. Got to support the homie.
Yeah.
I was a
think-
big fan of his Sound of Metal. I really
Yeah.
love that film. I think he gives an incredible performance. I'm all here for Riz.
Yeah. Sound of Metal is definitely one of my favorites. It's really good. Have you ever seen this old movie that he did in the UK called Four Lions?
I know exactly
No.
what you're talking about.
Oh
yes.
my God, Anissa, you have to watch Four Lions. Like,
Okay, I'm putting in my letterbox.
Oh my God, you have to watch it. It is the most hysterical dark comedy you will ever watch, and it's so funny. As a Pakistani, it is just like so many inside jokes. They're hysterical.
Okay, I put it down in my
It's
letterbox.
so funny. Like, me and my friends quote this to this day. We'll just quote random lines from this movie, and it's like Rhys Ahmed before he popped off, like before he got famous.
Okay, nice. I love Rhys Ahmed the Nightcrawler. Like, that's when I first
Yeah.
just fell in love with his acting. But yeah, I feel like everyone, like every friend group has that one movie that like no one else has seen, and you just like pull quotes from it and just make everyone else like really confused. So I have to check it out because that's your friend group movie.
Yeah. Oh, that definitely is. Before that, I think the line that me and my friends group always had, whenever we see like an accident or somebody get hurt or something bad happened, we just turn to each other and go, "He's not going to be in Rush Hour 3." Which was a deleted scene from Rush Hour 2.
That's
One
really
of my
specific.
favorite Chris Tucker bloopers of all time.
Yeah. I think like somebody gets kicked out the window and Chris Tucker just looks out and goes, "Damn, he ain't going to be in Rush Hour 3." Like, it's just so hysterical. Breaking the fourth wall.
That's funny.
Speaking of, the fourth one in that franchise has been in development hell for like years now. I hope they found a way to get that moving.
Yeah, third one was not that great. What do you think about the third Rush Hour? It was money grab, right?
Pretty awful. But now that Brett Ratner's canceled, hopefully we'll get a new and exciting filmmaker to take that franchise over.
That is true, but I gotta say, Rush Hour 1 and 2 still hold up. They're still pretty hysterical.
If you can, I guess, get with the '90s racism, you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
Which I can.
Yeah. There is a lot of '90s racism.
They have Jackie Chan drop the N-word in the first one, which I had forgotten about a while back, and I was like, oof, okay.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I guess it plays because he was somebody from another country who didn't know the cultural whatever, right? So it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, no, that was really funny. Also, speaking of like culturally, I don't know, insensitive, there's a new TV show. I don't think it's culturally insensitive, but it's really weird. It's about a Muslim vampire. Have you guys heard of this?
Oh, I know about this. This is the Count Abdulla, right?
Yeah. Dude, it looks so good, and it's just so weird though. And he's like,
okay, so
halal hunting is what he's doing.
This director is like the best director in Pakistan. Like, he never misses, and I think it's a Canadian show, right?
Oh, is it the UK show? It might be Canadian.
It's either UK or Canadian, but like every single thing he does, he never misses. He made like the Pakistani film Cake. He made Judeos, which was like a web series. Like, he does like only great stuff. So I know it's going to be so good. And I just I saw the trailer and I was like, this is one of those things where like you never knew like you kind of needed it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so interesting. So I'm super excited about that.
I am so curious to see. I think like the trailer starts off with him dressing up like a vampire, and like there's an actual real vampire there, and she's like calling him out for cultural appropriation. So it's like a white vampire calling out a Pakistani Muslim for cultural appropriation because he's dressed like a vampire, and like the layers are just hilarious. I thought that was really, really funny, and it looks really good. It looks really good, but it looks good in a bad way. I don't really know because I don't really watch too many of these UK movies and shows, so for me, like, I don't know because it's like
they do comedy the best. They do comedy the best.
We Are Lady Parts is like that too. We Are Lady Parts is also like very, very funny. So I wouldn't be. Oh, Jazz says Jarrell's was great. I think Jazz has actually seen it. And Brown Boy Wonder, he says, where can I watch this? Honestly, it's on ITX. If you're in the UK, it's on ITX. For anyone else, torrent. I don't know. I don't know how else.
Just
you can
search
find it.
watch free online. Maybe something helpful will come
We'll,
up.
we'll include
Disclaimer:
links to
Salaam
free
Nerds is
movie
not
websites.
responsible for any viruses you might get if you do that. I'm just saying.
We can just include links to free movie websites with the stream,
I don't know if
so
we
people
can do
can
that.
people can go watch.
So if you go to Rocky and you message him on Instagram,
I will respond to
he'll
all
hook
your
you up. He will hook
I
you
will
up.
respond to all your messages.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. That's cool. So Anissa, I was told that you are also a Bachelor fan. You're a part of Bachelor Nation. What's up with that?
I have been a part of Bachelor Nation since Sean Lowe's season. I think I was in middle school at the time, so I definitely was like watching it after my parents went to sleep and was just like so intrigued by it. Yeah, I've written like articles about it. I've like I listen to every podcast. I follow everyone on social media. This is probably like my biggest red flag. Like when I meet someone, I'm just like, so I'm part of Bachelor Nation, and that's when like I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna run away. So I didn't watch the previous season. I think it was Zach. I didn't watch it because that person had genuinely like no character to him, and I knew it would be bad.
He was the most vanilla Bachelor.
Yeah, so that and Juan Pablo's season are the only seasons I haven't seen in like the past like 7-8 years. But I watch everything. I watch like Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. I've seen every season since Sean Lowe's. I was really sad when I watched it because I know that Khalid got taken out.
For the first time ever, they had a Muslim on The Bachelor.
Okay, and so that's actually not true.
No,
so they had a Muslim
if you want to
before.
start, do you have to start from like season 1, or is it like different every season?
No, you can just jump in whenever.
Okay.
You can just start. Okay, got it. Okay.
I mean, like there'll be a few things you don't understand, but like the podcast and stuff will fill you in if you just like.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So, fun fact: the first Muslim on The Bachelor was on Sean Lowe's season, and it was a Muslim girl named Salma. So she actually progressed to like past week 4, I think. I don't remember if I wrote something about this, but it was really like nice for me to see someone like me on screen, you know? So she progressed past week 4, and it became down to the rose ceremony, and she felt like she was going home. And she kept telling him like, oh, I can't like kiss you on TV because my family's going to disown me. So eventually at like 4th or 5th week, she ended up kissing him like at the cocktail hour right before the rose ceremony, and he sent her home anyway.
Damn, he got the kiss and sent her home. She made her wow.
So she probably got beat when she went home, but she went for it and didn't pay out.
This is why you never, change your culture for a white man.
That's true. That's a real life example of that. So
wow, I did not know. Maybe I'll watch Sean Lowe's season. I haven't seen it, but they keep bringing that motherfucker back every single like.
It's a really good season. Him and his wife are also really cute, and it's the first time someone's picked like someone Asian, and they have like a bunch of kids, and they're all Asian, and they're really cute.
Yeah, so, and like he's probably like the one that like everyone goes to as like this success story because he's the only one that picked the right person and stayed with them, and they're still married. So yeah. There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of people.
There's a lot from Bachelor in Paradise, like a lot of couples from Bachelor in Paradise. But I think there's probably like under like 7 for Bachelor and Bachelorette, which is kind of strange because they've had like 30 seasons. So it's like really weird.
Yeah. So like I think for Bachelor, I don't know how many seasons they had. Maybe like 16. Rocky, there's like one. There's one couple that made it.
Oh, as in that lasted the relationship?
The lasted their relationship. They got married and it lasted.
I gotta get on the show.
And he picked the finale. There are a few other that like picked somebody and then changed their mind at the end and they stayed with them. I think
wow, okay.
Ari and then another guy. I don't remember his name.
Do they show you that part in the show? Or was that off?
Yeah, they show you.
They show it in the show.
Show that part. Okay, interesting.
So he proposes to one girl, then gets buyer's remorse, and then switches to the other girl.
Live on national television.
Live on national.
I gotta get on the show.
Oh, dude, the breakup was live on national TV, and like she was blindsided, and like you can cut the tension with a knife. It was so wild, so wild.
Yeah, so they have that, but there's actually more successful couples from The Bachelorette, which kind of makes sense because these are like strong women that have like a grip, and I feel like they have better judgment than probably the men who are selected as bachelors. So there's like a lot more couples from The Bachelorette too.
So men are just bad pickers, and like women are great pickers. So like, if a woman picks you, just go with it. Just go with it. That makes a lot more sense. Fair, fair. All right, that's cool. And then I think, yeah. So he was still the first Muslim on Bachelorette, though, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah, I knew as soon as they introduced him, I knew he was getting taken out because I also think he introduced himself as like Khalid or like not saying Khalid. Like just say your name, bro. Like I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, did he not say his name right? I don't remember.
I don't think he did. I saw a video of his like on TikTok where he was like doing the promo reel and introducing himself. But I knew he was. It's just funny that he was the diversity hire on a season where the Bachelorette is black. Like I just thought that was really interesting.
I know. Oh man, but he also didn't seem to have that great of a personality. I mean, like we didn't get to know him, but like for just like day one, like I didn't know anything about him.
I want a spin-off show on him convincing his family to let him go on this show. That's what I want.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe you'll see me on one of those one day, very soon.
Neebs, the second you get on, it's the second I start watching.
No, I won't be on that show. It's a very different show. But yeah, come this September, we'll see if I'm still single. But yes, the reality shows just got started, so we're gonna be covering that every week. Anissa, you should come on our show when we cover it. Are you good this Tuesday to come back? Maybe we'll have you to recap Bachelor episode this week.
Yeah, I'm free. I'll do it.
You said that like, yeah, I'm free. I don't have a life.
I was like pretending to check my calendar. No, I'm in like the funding phase for my film, so everything I'm doing is I'm like basically a telemarketer calling people and like pitching them my idea and being like, oh, like, are you interested in donating? So I'm basically working from home. So yeah.
Then you should hit up Jazz. He's Mr. Moneybags for our podcast.
Yeah, great. I'm writing that down right now.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Jazz is so mad at me.
My day job is being a political fundraiser, so I call Jazz all the time. Definitely hit him up.
Yeah. Jazz is very generous. He's a very generous guy. That's what I gotta say.
I'm sure he would drop like 50K into the season.
That's great.
No problem. I think we can get a commitment from Jazz.
My budget's 15, but I'll take 50. Like, I'll just make a bigger wedding. It's fine. I'll take what I can get.
If you make Jazz the groom, he'll definitely make it 50K.
For my phone to blow up
make Jazz the groom, he'll definitely do it. We'll fly him out here to Jersey to film it at Royal Albert Palace or wherever you guys.
Oh my God, I refuse to shoot there. Like, if someone gave me that hall as an option, I was like, I'm not doing there. I've been to so many Sweet 16s in that hall and haven't gotten the candle. I have like PTSD.
I know. It's like it's kind of tacky. It's like if a Daisy Trump designed a wedding hall. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah. Oh, now Jazz is out. He said he won't fund it if it's at Royal Albert Palace.
Then I'm out too if it's at Royal Albert. No shade to whoever organizes that event hall.
That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man, but I'm really excited about your thing, man. Keep us updated and like let people know where they can find you so they can like help you out or keep track. Because this sounds like a really cool project. I want to be involved. I'll be an extra. Just be like out there, you know.
That'd you can follow me at ANEESAK _. So Anissa K _.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Awesome.
And just like all my updates are there. Catch me on my story every day asking for money. So
you're like that little Stewie meme. Like, you got my money? You got my money? You got $2.99 for a fake mustache.
That sounds pretty much like me, yeah.
That's so cool. All right. That sounds fun. No, seriously. Anything else you could tell us about it? Because like I'm really intrigued. Do you have a trailer? Do you have anything?
I have a script. I'm in the casting process now. I've just finalized my lead actress. I've just finalized that. I can't say it yet. I'm casting for my other roles. Thank you. And then I'm working on getting music licensed. I'm talking to food vendors. Also, yeah, if anyone who sees this like wants to help me in any way, feel free to shoot me a message. I'd love to have someone to help me.
Yo, let's go. If you're in the tri-state area, hit her up, and then you could be a part of it. You can help out. You can help fundraise. It'll be really cool. I'm really excited. We're happy to promote in any way we can. We like to help out our fellow Daisies, and also Jersey people got to stick together.
It's true.
That's what we gotta do. Jersey strong. All right. Rocky.
Yes, sir.
Anything that you want to promote before you head off?
What would I like to promote? Well, we've actually got a fantastic summer season coming up because we've got Mission Impossible next week. We've got
Nice.
Oppenheimer and Barbie coming up the week after that, and I am psyched for all three.
Me too. Me
So
too.
it's going to be a good summer. Hopefully, it's sort of been a little bit of a dull summer. Movies are struggling in theaters.
Did you watch the Transformer movie?
I did. I thought it was okay. I'm not.
Okay.
So I'll preface with saying I'm not a big Transformers fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I never watched the cartoon as a kid. I'm not too familiar with the lore. I just recently watched a couple of the Michael Bay films. So, but I thought it was okay. But
Okay. Insidious versus Indiana Jones. What would you pick? I mean, not Insidious. What you call it? Transformers versus Indiana Jones.
I have to go with Indy only because I guess I have more of a sentimental value with Indy.
Gotcha.
Because I saw Raiders when I was 4, and
Yeah.
it was as a 4-year-old kid, it's profound. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Indiana Jones is stated as probably the number one for a lot of sort of action directors in terms of inspiration. I don't know what it is about that character that makes people want to pick up a camera and start doing it. But there was a huge Raiders fan film that was made in the early 90s that got sent to film festivals, and then Spielberg and Lucas finally saw it. So there's just something that's incredible about that character and that world. I think it just reminds you of that sort of 40s newspaper comic strips, of an action adventure hero just fighting Nazis and some, for lack of a better phrase, some good old-fashioned American heroism.
Yeah, for sure. Someone said that Insidious is coming out this week. I don't know if any of you guys are Insidious fans. That has a big following too.
Chapter 3, yeah. I'm excited for that too. I think James Wan's producing it.
It's a Blumhouse film.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. And then Jazz says Rocky and I are going to wear suits to the Barbie and pink to Oppenheimer.
This is true. It's pink with Christopher Nolan's face on it, and the Barbie suit is Greta Gerwig at the back. So that's what we're going with.
Nice. I'm going to wear a suit with a pink shirt underneath.
That's so
as soon
funny.
as I come
Are
out
you
of one.
watching both?
Yes. So
Sorry,
actually,
I think I'm lacking.
If people would like to know how weird I am, so I'm from the Houston area, and I will be driving to San Antonio to go watch Oppenheimer, only because we don't have any 70mm screens in the city of Houston. So San Antonio is the closest place I got.
Wow, that sounds like fun. That's a big trek, though. All right. Well,
Are you doing both in the same day?
Yeah. So I have tickets for an early screening of Barbie. And I got passes for an early screening of Mission Impossible this Sunday, and then we're driving up to San Antonio to go watch Oppenheimer a couple times on 70mm, which is the preferred format.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for this week. Until next week, guys. Salaam, nerds.